Hello everyone, this is Paula and I'm back today to do the Cheaply Chic Traveler's Notebook for the month of July. Okay, so it was a little late coming out this month, but we still have plenty of time to go crazy on it. Now, it doesn't come with the big ball tassels here or these strawberries and yellow balls, and it doesn't come with this red ruffle. I purchased the ruffle separate. And so anyway, it's lemons and cherries, strawberries, limes, pineapples, all kinds of fruit. But the cover is blue and yellow and with red trim here and the little strawberries. So let's get started. Now, before I ever start my videos, I add all the trims on because it's just time consuming, and if I mess up I can just come back. Like, I buy these little tassel balls here in packages, and they come in different colors at Michael's, and sometimes I've found them at Hobby Lobby. I just take them apart and put the color to match the month on there, and I just put a grommet here and use a bulb pin. Real simple to do. Now, also in this book, I have the strings in the center, which I just use the 4 little hearts that Lynette puts in the kit. Now, right here is the marker that she makes for you to use in your book, and it's the blue, yellow, and red. Okay. So I just kind of stick that wherever until I need to move it, and then I move it. Okay, so I want to show you my trim that I put on it. So here are some strawberries here on this first page. I loved them. I saw them, and I just had to have them, but I had to pay to get them, and they're expensive. So if you buy it, just buy this amount if you can. Joann's is where I got those. Now, you can get all kinds of these little ball trims like this here. This one is actually sewed separately, so I just bought enough here to do my book, and I put it on the very last, well, actually on the back cover. And I love the way it all looks when you get it together. You see the red, and then you see the taller one, which is the yellow balls. So that's what I did to make the cover even more colorful than it is. Sorry guys, I got to turn my fan on. It might make a tiny bit of noise. So I planned several pages, and we're just going to go one page at a time and see how much time we have. And I'm going to explain to you as I go what I'm doing. I think you guys know kind of how I do this most of the time anyway. I don't ink the pages. I just ink the items. So I took a bag, and I want to show you how I did this bag. I just flipped it over, folded in both sides, and zigzagged around it in order for it to fit right here in the front. And you should have gotten some kind of bag in your kit. I don't remember if this one came in the kit or if it was yellow. Either way, you just alternate colors on this project. You don't put red up against red, and you just alternate yellow and red, because this is pineapples, strawberries, and cherries. Now, this is the time card that comes in your kit, and I happen to have a little cherry stamp and a pineapple stamp that I've never used, but this is a good time to use those. And I just made that like a tag and put it, I'm going to glue it right here. Okay, let me grab my glue so we can get this put down. Now, I did trim, this up here has to be kind of rounded off to fit, because it doesn't look normal if you don't trim it to look like it needs to. If you wanted to add, if you wanted to put glue around just the sides and then put a pocket in the back, you could. I always have more space than I need to journal, and so you know how much I put in my books, and so I don't I try not to overdo it, because then that means I have to keep the book more than 1 month, because I can't stand wasting those pages, right? So I'm still using, I can't remember the name of it, but I'm still using one. I don't know if it's Hope or the one before that. I think it's the one before. So now I'm going to cover up this top portion right here, because I think it puts the bag too high if I don't. I have stuff everywhere. I do want to tell you that I have a friend in the room today. My friend Pat is here observing, because she has just got her very first Cheaply Chic monthly kit, and so she wanted to know how it all worked, so she's observing. Okay, so that's that portion. Now you ink around things, not super dark, because you know it's too bright to do anything too dark. You could use yellow or red or blue, you know, any of these colors to ink if you wanted to. I was going to, and then I decided I needed something to make it, you know, stay on there better. Now I do clip sometimes if I think it's gonna have a hard time staying down when I move to a next page or something. You guys have seen me do this a million times. I'm just gonna clip the edges so that they stay down. This inside portion you can't clip, unfortunately, but we can go in there. We'll fold this ruffle down a little bit and just clip over it. Whoops, for now. If I can get it to clip inside there, because it's pretty thick. I might have to get my real clips out. I do, and that's okay. I need to be using them anyway. Let's put these out of the way. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna get, these are like quilters clips. They're not cheap though. When you buy them, they're about $25 or $30 for this jar that I bought. So there we go. Now we're gonna move over to this side of the page now, and use our library pocket. That's where we always put the library pocket, and today's no different. So this pocket has adhesive on the back, but I still always add a little something. So we're gonna pull this off, and I'm just gonna mostly do the corners. I don't want it coming down. A little bit in the center, and then down the sides, across the bottom. This too, you could make it into a pocket if you wanted to. Just put it right here. I didn't leave probably 1/8 of an inch at the bottom. And if you get this crooked, it's not coming up, because it had that sticky on it already, just so you know. Okay, rub it down real good on the corners so they'll stay. Now I embossed, I had a pineapple and a cherry embossing folder. So I embossed yellow with pineapples. I hope you can see that. And cherries also. Okay, so I'm going to cover this library pocket here, and I stitched around it with a single stitch. I just used white thread because there's too many colors to add any more. I thought about doing black, but then I was like, oh no, I just think that's too much of a contrast. Okay, now I knew this kit was coming. I had seen what it was, and I had decided way ahead of time to prepare for it. So not only I bought the kit that comes with it, but I bought one of the, I think the 15-piece kit also, because you guys know how I overdo everything. Get this glue off here. I always manage to let the glue ooze out. Okay, now I'm gonna get my hole punch up here. So this library card is going to go right here, but we're going to put one strip of glitter glue. We want to make sure these are the right length. If they're bigger, you need to trim them now, because they're not like a lot of things. They're not going to stretch or anything like that, and you can't really get in there and trim them very well. So I like to cut them ahead of time. I don't care where they're at on here, up, down, wherever. And then we're going to take the other piece, the third piece, and we're going to put it right here. Now this one's quite a bit longer, so I'm going to have to trim down to here. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to glue these down now and get them in the right spot. Now I am not putting it on the zigzag. I'm putting it straight across the embossed paper. Okay, then I'm going to lay down the rickrack right here. All right, the second part, I'm going to do the very same thing, just eyeballing it, hoping it will turn out straight. Okay. Just want to make sure it's not wavy. I'm going to kind of hold it up and make sure it's straight. This side needs to come down a little bit. Zigzag is easy to put on. I'll see if I can kind of trim that edge a little bit. Probably I'm not going to be lucky enough. Add a little bit more glue underneath that because it wasn't wanting to stay. There we go. Now we're going to put the other piece here at the top. And you know, they don't have to be perfect. If you can't get them on super perfect, don't worry about it. That's what makes this whole junk journal thing fun, is not thinking that you're going to have perfection. I hope you guys are having a good day today. I've had a busy day, but I'm excited to say my doctor released me from my hips today. So, yeehaw. I'm excited about that because that crazy therapy gets to stop too. Maybe I can move on. Okay, now let's trim this off this little card. The nice thing about the card is you can pull it out to trim it if you get it too long. You know, glitter glue is supposed to be super strong. Sometimes I don't think it is as strong as other things. Now, I know this is a fabric type trim, but it still should hold. All right, so I'm going to slide it into the pocket. We got this part finished. Now, we've got this embossed tag with cherries on it. So I'm going to see here if I can figure out. I never can get perfect punches. I'm either too low or too high. Something like that. So I'm doing the opposite color. So I'm just folding. I just had this big piece and I'm just going to fold it in half. I didn't have any of the small seam, not seam binding. What is this called? I'm trying to remember. It's a type of seam binding. You can use lace also. It'll come to me in a minute. Okay, here we go. We're going to just kind of fold the end where you can get it through this hole. And I don't double tie, I just single tie. So I just cut enough to do that. And this one, I almost got too short, it looks like. Gonna have to use trickery to get it on here, but it will work. Now, if you want to double tie it, you're gonna have to just cut more. But see how cute the yellow looks up against the red? So adorable, if I say so myself. Okay, now I'm just gonna put this behind the library card and bring it down. I just like the layered look. Then I stamped from a stamp I had that said, "Hey, sweet thing." It's perfect for this. I am going to cut, I forgot to cut this one. Oh, here it is. I think I'm going to add a little bit of red behind this, if I have enough. Whoops, well, maybe. Going to be real close. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim along this bottom, and when I'm done, it probably will not be straight. Yeah, it's not perfect. And then the more you trim, the more crooked it becomes. I just need to have a little bit off so I can get it to work under here. Now, I'm just going to glue it right here. Leave a little border all the way around on my crooked little sign. And then trim it. Now, we'll ink it later. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue back there and hope for the best. I would build all these items with you, but you guys know how much time these things take. I have to sit down and just think about what I want to do. And in this situation, it's pretty easy because you're sticking with fruit. I mean, that doesn't take you very far out, right? So I'm going to put this right across, let me think. Yeah, right across the top. But you want to make sure there's a little bit of a space between the words and the tag. Okay, here we go. All right, now stick this right here. Okay, I'm just kind of centering it the best I can. And I always press the edges down real good because I don't want the thing coming up. All right, so this side is done, and I think it turned out pretty good. Now over here, we're going to be pretty close to getting it done as well. I put a little pocket over here, or a little sack over here, because I just felt like the chevron red bag was a little much. You know, it needed something on the front. So I just put the little bag here. I'm going to kind of center it the best I can so that it, you know, doesn't leave another big blank space. So I also got to punch. This one is the pineapple. So I'm going to punch it as well. Got to make sure it's in the center. It may not be, but if it isn't, that's fine. That's fine. Everybody does these traveler's notebooks different. And on Lynette's channel, you'll find all the other design team. So you should go check them out as well. I was really happy to see this kit when it came. I honestly think that it is my favorite so far. So I'm trimming this off a little bit because I don't want them sticking out like that. Okay, now I don't know where the things are that I trimmed off, but I see some trash laying about. Okay, so this is going to go inside this pocket, which gives you the alternating colors. See, red and yellow, red. Okay, now I'm going to use a card that did not come in the kit. So this is out of my stash. But you should have got some kind of card in your kit. Most of them, I believe, were blueberries, or I'm not sure. I think one of them is a type of berry, and the other is strawberries. So I'm just gluing this to the center the best I can of this card. Now, I just got glue on my, shouldn't have put the tag in yet. Okay, so now it is going to overlap a little bit on your bag, so you need to bring it down from the top and just let it hang down here. Don't worry about it. Don't want to cut it off. It's an old vintage card. Okay, now, just make sure I didn't get glue all over this. No, it's good. So I'm going to put that inside this pocket again. Out there's the glue. Get my little, I could see it when the light shone just right on it. If you don't get it while it's still wet, the glue is not going anywhere. You don't want it to feel rough and bumpy. Okay, now everything's cool with that. We have one more thing to put on this page, and it's this little ephemera pineapple. And I'm just trying not to hit the edges too much. I'm just trying to get enough on here to hold it on. Now, we could put it right here, or we could put it right here. I think I'm going to do it right here on the edge of this card where it touches the very bottom and as far over to the left as you can put it. So, we just completed our first double page, and let me see what time it is. We still have time to do maybe 2, but for sure one more. So,
ooh, that looks nice.
It's nice. It looks fun.
Very nice, Paula.
Yeah,
I love those colors, and I love the theme.
Yeah, it's just so cute.
Well, as a newbie, I'm so excited at having the opportunity, and thank you for letting me watch. Hello, ladies. It's wonderful being here, seeing Paula do this fantastic work.
Yeah, she and I do work at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. We get together and play in the craft room. Okay, so now I got to remember which one I wanted to do next. I've got several here, but I really like the way this one turned out. I feel like when I do one page layout here like this, it inspires me to do more and more when I'm planning. And so that's a lot of fun. So we're going to do lemons on the next page. Now, and mostly because Lynette has this lemon paper here. Now, let me make sure that's the right place. No, that's not the right place. Let me find the spot it goes in. You never know about me, guys. Let me see if it's the back portion. No, I think I just forgot to mark what I was doing. So I know it was here in the front. Okay, so it's going to be right here. So we're going to use the inside right here. I got to see. I put the wrong. Okay, this one goes there. This one says number 2. So let's just do this one since we're right here. This is number 10. I label them with a number so I can keep track of where they go in the traveler's notebook. If I didn't, I wouldn't remember. Now, I got this as a thank you gift from my friend Lynette. But now this little blue coin pocket came in the kit, and so did this yellow claim check. I had the blue clean check at home. You can always add anything in your stash. And so this is a brad right here, and I just took the brad, put it through to the back, and it was easy as that. Now, this is a piece of yellow doily that I've been cutting on. I added two little tiny tags. One says lemons and one says cherries. And I tied that on to this portion of that trim. Let me move some of this stuff out of my way. I'll get it all mixed up if I don't. And I just inked around the lemon a little bit, and I punched a little tab, but you do have tabs in your kit. This came from some stuff I bought down at Joann's, and this came out of my stash. And I bought these little lemons at Joann's, and then this came in the kit, and I just called it 2020 Cherries. Okay, now I dug through everything I had because on this page I'm doing lemons and cherries. Okay, now this is a little cherry paper I had in a 6x6. It's got a blue check in the background, or it has this pink with red cherries. Okay, this was in my kit, in my stash too, and I just cut it off and made it the right width for the book. I punched out a big 3 1/4 or 3 1/2 inch polka dotted red. It's going to go right here on the front of this blue at some point, along with, I believe, this little doily, or it might be a lemon. I have to play with it to remember. You know how I am. Okay, here we go. Let's start gluing down. Oh, and I cut up a lemon slice type paper and inked around it. I made sure it would fit right inside here. And it does. You know, I like to cover pages sometimes. I just think it gives the book more strength as it fills up. It feels a lot stronger. Just want to make sure the pointed points, the corners of each kind of paper like this, you get plenty ink on the corners. The rest of it, you can just kind of scribble it on. Okay. And I cut this at, I think it was 8 1/2, or give me a minute, 8 1/2 by 4 1/2 is the size of the book. So you just decide you don't want to go any smaller until you've tried it out. Want to line it up on the bottom. I don't want to get my marker involved. So I'm going to move this up so you guys can see a little better. Okay. Trying to get it down on the line so it doesn't, so it fits right. Now we're just going to glue this down. Okay, so we've got the lemon page. Now, I got to remember, I think this goes right here. This is the doily pocket I made. And I'm just going to glue around the 3 sides and set it in the glue, basically, is what it's going to amount to. So I'm going to do that first. You kind of want to eyeball where it starts and where it ends, so you get it in the glue in the right spot. I'm not real picky. I just kind of do it. Can't be afraid of it. If you mess up, you can fix it. There's always a way to fix it. Okay, here we go. Just going to glue this down. Sometimes when I do doily pockets or lace pockets, you know, you don't know till you put it down what you got. Just so you know, you don't know. And a lot of times they'll stretch, so if it seems a little short, just pull it the way you want it to go. Let's see. And these little edges that don't have a partner, just stick them together like that, and then just put it on the glue. Hold it for a few seconds till you know it's gluing, and then you're going to have a pocket. So we got to do something with this little one floating around. Put it on there. All right, there's that pocket. Now, this is like a flip out here, and you journal inside. And so I'm going to put it right there. Now, I'm going to lay everything out to make sure I have it in the right spot that I started with. These little lemons, they were a, like a little pad you write on. Little pad, and I just cut one off and made it like 3. I just used some good stuff on it to make them, to hide that. It gives them a little bit of a highlight, so that helps. Okay. Sorry we got cut off for a minute. My alarm went off, you know, when I forget to turn it off, that happens. So when you glue these together, you want to be able to see that they're 3 separate ones. So just be sure that you put some kind of shadow or something to indicate they're different. See, like there, here I did this with some white pencil. Put a highlight on it here and there. Okay, and then it's going to go up in this corner, but we're going to lay it there for now. Now, this little tag goes right inside this doily. I'm trying to remember if I put anything on it. I can't remember. So, I'm thinking that I put cherries. This cherries, I did. This little sticker. So, let's just stick that down while we've got it here. And I'm just going to kind of hit it a little bit. Not a lot. And this will stick down. Trust me, it's sticky. And I just tiled it 2020 cherries. Be careful not to smear after you write on this, because it's the type of material that would smear. So instead of putting a topper or anything on that, I just did it that way. Now, over here, I know we're going to glue this here, and I have inked everything. But I'm trying to remember, did I put it in the middle? Did I put it on the bottom? What did I do with it? It's a good question. So we're going to put our lemon right here. And yeah. And then over here, we've got this blue, and I have this little lemonade punch circle that was in some of my stash. I'm thinking, I don't know what we're going to put there, but I think something needs to be up here. And I did not make anything to put up there, but I'll add it later, and you'll see it through the flip through. Okay, so, and I also have this, and I don't know where I was going to put it, but I don't think we really have to have it. I'll find a spot. Okay, let's get the things glued together real quick. Just do a little circle. And you just want to angle it however it looks good to you, you know. Lemons can lay any direction, so there's not a wrong way. But when you put something on them and go to put them on your paper, just remember, they're slippery because of the material they're made out of. Okay, let's get this down. We're moving right along. All right. Here we go. Now, I'm not going to close this top. I'm not going to worry about it. It can flop around, or I can clip it. However you want to handle it, but it's not necessary. So you could make a pocket in the back of this, but I chose not to. I just felt like, you know, it's kind of heavy, so you want to put a little bit more on heavy stuff to keep it down. All right, I'm trying to remember where I put it. You want to make sure you can lay it out and still journal on it. I can't remember. I think I put it right in the middle. So that's where it's going. And so you want to open it up and just make sure everything's sticking down properly. I think what I'm going to do is just put this little lemon inside like it's a little whatnot. It belongs inside the stationery. Okay, let's see if that will hold it. We're going to let it dry right there. Pat and I went to Joann's and we bought a lot of little goodies like lemons and different watermelon, and we bought this little ephemera. So there's some oranges, pineapples, watermelon, yeah, and lemons. Now we bought those, and then we bought some, you know, like ephemera packs that had some crazy different characters on them. All right, now we're going to do this over here, but first I'm going to erase this tin. I thought for some reason I made a title for this one, but I don't guess I did. I'm going to take these out. You do have a pocket back here. I'm leaving that open. I pulled the flap to the front, and I just got one of the metal rimmed things out of a package I had, and that's what I just stamped the little cherries on. Okay, now we're still going to come down low with this little character because I think it'll look better. For some reason, I thought I was going to use something up here. I might have to stamp something up there later. This one, for some reason, doesn't want to stick down super easy. So I'm just going to do the corners. I started off with my desk semi-neat, and then it ends up like a disaster. Are you guys the same way? Okay, let's put the lemonade on here. All right. Now, here we go. I'm just going to center it about like that. Put the tags back inside. Okay, now, oops, I forgot to glue this. Let me glue this real quick. This is just very light. It's just like a sticky note. I'm kind of putting this in the corner at an angle. Now I'm going to put my marker back in. Whoops, if I can get it out from under the sewing machine. Well, I'll leave it for now. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to show you where the tab is going to go. I thought, I think we're going to put it on this side, right like this. It's just really for looks, and you'll know which page you're going to, right? Come out of there, glue. It's not happy with me because I haven't wiped the tip. Sorry, guys. My video stalled again, but we're almost done. So, let's see. Let's get this tab on. We will have 2 pages done, all the trim added on, and 2 pages done from our first video. Yeah, there we go. Making sure it's on straight. Okay, so here is the second page. I think it turned out okay. You know, each one is so different, you never know. Sometimes you love them, sometimes you're like, that's okay. That's kind of how I feel about this one compared to the first one. So, I hope you guys had fun, and I think I'm going to stamp something right there on that tab when I get off the video. So, just so you know, and maybe something right up here. All right, guys, see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. We'd love to have you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. And if you enjoyed today's video, give me a thumbs up. See you later. Bye.